Well, I had to take a little break from projects because I couldn't concentrate on doing them and finding them. So, doing some dumpster diving with my nephew, I found this. Unfortunately, I couldn't take everything I wanted because there was 5 40-yard dumpsters of stuff. But I got this, and it is a tube tester. Superior Instruments Company, model TV11 or 2, made in the USA. I know nothing about it. I know that you can test tubes. I don't know if it works, haven't plugged it in. So my thing is, I guess, is just to clean the case and repair it, wash the top, take it apart a little bit, and see if there's anything that can be salvaged here. I have hardly even looked at it. So that could make for an interesting case project. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it then. I suppose put it on a shelf, or if somebody sees it and loves it, let me know. The problems it has are minor, so to speak. It needs some wire brushing on the hinges, the clasp, and as you can see, the veneer is loose. Glue has failed. There's a couple pieces missing. You see how dirty it is. It was in a radio shop since the 70s, and this radio shop was filled with radios, military. It's just a shame that it all had to go to the dumpster. It's a sin, actually, but you can only do what you can do. So that is one. Another project I have coming up is I got this neat piece of burl. I don't know if you can see the beautiful flame. It's walnut. It's not flattened yet. And I'm going to, I think, cut it about here, maybe a little higher. I'd love to use the whole thing, but the flame stops up in here, where you probably can't see my hand, up in here, and it is beautiful. So I'm thinking that I make a machinist chest and use this as the drawer fronts. Make the rest of the case out of walnut and make the door, the front, out of just plain walnut. So when you open this, you will see that beautiful flame. I found some handles. They're not too bad. They're a little larger than I want, but they're really difficult to find at the price I want to pay. These were like, I don't know, $8 for 6, whereas the ones I wanted are $10 a piece, and I just don't have that kind of budget. So I can adjust the depth of the case to make that work. So I don't know if I've got anything here to... I got some lacquer thinner here. Maybe I can show you what the... I guess I can pour it right on there. I don't know if you can see that flame pattern, how it really pops. Unfortunately, there were 3 or 4 of these, and I only bought this one. And went back to look at more, but it's been years. This has been air drying for 15, 20 years. And so, I'm just going to use my... see if you can get that flame. It's just tremendous. I suppose there's something better I could use it for, and a lot of opinions, but I have enough stuff. I don't really need this tool case, but I think it would be a neat project. And I have many more radios and things in my shop, although they mostly just need cleaning. Of course, I don't know how interesting that is, but so let's look at this close. It's hard to, I guess I can lift it up to you. It might be the easiest. See how this is loose, but see there's 2 pieces missing. I got to figure out what I can use. I just broke this one off, and unfortunately I can't find it when I was wiping that off, so I will have to make something. So this is another case I picked up relatively cheap. It's not great. It is in really rough shape. The veneer is all bad. It is a Eagle Lock Company machinist chest, but everything's there. It's got a little clip for your papers. There is a little thing here to help the lid stay from falling all back, but when you put it on, it does. I took it off because it was pulling something. I can't remember what now. But it's got its drawers. The front isn't particularly attractive. Get in there. It has metal runners. It has wooden drawer bottoms. It certainly worth fixing up, and the front is just very plain. This is size handles I would have loved to have gotten, and I bought this to rob parts to build something beautiful out of that walnut. I don't have the heart to tear this one apart, even though it's not particularly great. So I'm just going to use that veneer, I think, on this case because I've got it. It's oak. I can make it blend as opposed to replacing that whole top, which I don't have any oak. But that's another project going to come up. Okay. I butcher, and so I keep a roll of butcher paper around. It's shiny or not real shiny, but slick on this side and not slick on the other. So when I'm doing glue and things like that, I can not worry about if I use it for if I use it to put on a piece of furniture after it's glued, I can clamp it and it'll peel right off. So let's see what we got brush wise. Boy, I can just see it wick right in that wood so quickly. It is dry. Trying to push it way down into that crack. I want it in there deep, but I don't want so much that it causes a ripple or a ridge when it's glued down. I'm sorry for my camera work. I'm just not a fancy person. I want to do the work. I don't want to dick around with making the scene pretty. I mean, I respect people that do, and I want to, but the time is just, it seems overwhelming to do. Hoping not to have to sand, so I tend to keep it as clean as I go. Clean as I can, anyway. Ooh, this is worse than maybe than I thought even. goodness. The looser it is, the easier it is to glue. Of course, the water I put on there to wipe it might have loosened the glue, so it might be a good time to wet the whole thing and pull the whole kit and caboodle off. I don't know. If I got somewhere, I should have a handy dandy seam roller from wallpaper days. Here it is. That will push way deep into there, the glue I put on, I hope. This is just lightly damp. There's not enough veneer here to sand much, so. Sounds like it's intact. Just a spot there. Truthfully, if I can keep the edges down and not worry about the center section coming loose, I'm kind of okay with that. Get that glue out of there. Okay, check this side over here. It appears to just be a little loose. Should have brought my palette down. Ooh, that's not a good sign, is it? I guess I'll be gluing that whole flap, which is great. Oh yeah. Probably old hide glue, and this, I took the dust off, and with any luck this adhesive will reactivate, at least encapsulate the adhesive that's there. See, the dust is releasing the... As long as I stir it till it's no longer popping loose, I should be good. If not, I'll find out and peel it off again. This goes. Well, we left off with me gluing that, putting weights on it. The weights are still on it. I managed to pull off some pieces of the oak case over there, and I glued them with I don't know what it's, a shoemaker's glue. You put it on both sides. Basically it's a contact cement. It dries too tacky, put it on there, and you hit it with a hammer. So what that does, well, I can show you. I'll knock these over again so don't. A lot of weight on there. It may not look like it, but as you can see, maybe that they blended in pretty good. They're not perfect, and I don't want them perfect. I lightly sand. I hate that word. First, I'll take and remove all the old finish, and then I will see what I need to do. I sanded them lightly to get the old finish off, but I don't want to take that patina off. So that's how that is. I'm making sure that that veneer stays very flat, so I'm being cautious to let it set as long as it needs to set. I don't know why I have that on there other than... So now I'm going to take off all the hardware. You probably can't see me, but it's all put on there with screws, thank God. It took me 2 hours to get all those parts off of that, the corners and everything, in good condition off that other box. I hope I never have to take them off a Gerstner. I don't know what I would do. Well, this may have been, yeah, this was black. What do they call that? Well, as usual, I can't think of the name of that term. That japanned. Haha! As soon as I claim I can't remember, sometimes that helps. These were japanned, as in shiny black. I guess you'd call it shiny. I have a piece over here that's japanned. They're pretty dirty from sitting in a drawer for 100 years, but these were japanned. These even have key locks. These are old hasps. I've never been in this box other than putting in this drawer. No keys, which that wouldn't be difficult if somebody needed them. I would think those were trunk latches. See how they squeeze in. Interesting. And this is a really nice, bright, shiny steel hinge, or a gate latch, just like this one. So this would come through and drop. It's kind of scary what I have laying around here. But Japan, oh, and this is what they used to do. They would use acid on brass and give it this look. Have a lot of those door pulls too, or slide. All that's left are hinges. Now I don't want these shiny because the handle's not shiny. So one of my things that I use is 1000-degree paint. It's very durable, doesn't mark like a flat paint would, and it's really nice patinaed kind of look. So that's what I'll do on this when the time comes. the meantime, I got to find a place for these so I don't lose them. Well, I got the hinges and everything painted. It's got a nice look to it. I taken a little stain and touching up those spots where I replaced the wood. I don't want to sand, as you know. Or maybe you don't know, but I'm highly opposed to sanding on patinaed wood because it just ruins it. So I try to find ways of blending to make it look kind of complete. So that was just a little bit of provincial stain, and I think that looks pretty darn good. Now, back to this. I'm going to look in there again and see if I can figure out how to at least remove enough to get this mechanism out of the way. Well, I'm not sure how this is going to work. My battery on my GoPro went to heck. Got another one and it was dead. And my GoPro's been overheating, so I'm not a fan. Still not a fan. Okay, so I managed to take this out earlier. This is what was holding me back from doing much more and then the cord. So what I'm going to do, hopefully you can see, is just pull that cord through. And that will get it out of my way for the most part. And I can get this mechanism far enough away I can cover it and not worry about overspray. Anything like it. And looky here! Since I couldn't see the bottom, now I see the bottom is springy, so we can fix that easy and fast. Let's see if I can pop it off the rest of the way or not. Tack in this corner. So this is not a new repair, or first time repair. Hopefully I got the whole bottom and not just the veneer on the end part here. There we go. Yeah, it's been off a while. Yeah, there's a little veneer. Should have come off, but that's okay. I can fix that too. There's one over here too. But if that's stuck on, hate for to get it all fixed and then find out I have to re-glue that edge. Get off the spider webs. Get off the old adhesive. Pray I'm in the shop. Oh! Luckily that's under veneer, so to speak. Just a layer. Once that's glued together and pre-attached, no one will ever know but you and me. Let's get rid of some of this dust. So I wanted to, ouch, where's that tack? So, if you can read that, inspected 55 Paramount Wood Products Company, Brooklyn 16, New York, USA. So I'm going to pull out my magic stuff I was talking about earlier. This is my favorite adhesive, but it is so hard to keep the lid from freezing. And it's stringy and horrid, but again, this is all hidden. So I would let this dry completely. Well, until it's tacky. Okay. Of course, reading that box made me flip it around, so now I don't know which side goes where. That's okay. Luckily, I just noticed I have the tack hole. 3 sides have tack holes, so that's not helpful. This stuff's so sticky. Alright. While I wait for that, I have a feeling this is where it goes. Yes. Okay. It's basically a flexible contact adhesive. Should have done that first, huh? I can't be smart all day, every day. Guess I need a glue pot. It's made for shoes, leather, so I'm assuming, maybe incorrectly, that it will expand and contract with moisture in the air when you don't have time for letting just normal wood glue dry, because somebody forgot to check the bottom of the box before he started the top. That could be it. May or may not be me. Alright, so we're going to let this tack up a bit. Spider webs out of the glue. Apply a little more. Now put the spider webs in the can. Okay. Close that up. You can't see me, so I guess I have to tell you what I'm doing. Alrighty. This goes here. No, it doesn't. This goes here. There we go. This goes here. this one goes here. Okay. Now, goes that way. That means this goes this way. I'm going to put this right there. And the best part about this is so solid and tight. I have to use 2 coats of this probably. I don't know if I'll get to the second coat on cam or not, but you'll get the idea when you see it go on here what it's going to kind of look like. This dries very rapidly. I can get another coat on it in 30 minutes. It's got a nice tint to it. And probably was the original finish if it had one. It's going to show some defects and flaws, but it's an antique, so to speak. I'm okay with it. There's that. And then we'll do the sides. Just sitting on its back, or end, I guess you'd call it, as it appears to be that the sun hasn't gotten to that part too much. It's very light. This was probably on a shelf for years. Oops. A splash over on the lid. Not good. Around the edge of the lip here. Okay. So the temptation is to clean this unit that goes in here, but I'm trying to resist because I think it needs to be done with something gentle like a Q-tip and some very light, like water even, whatever won't affect the aluminum, so that could be anodized to get that design in there, but this way. Well, lots of issues with sound and cameras this week. I'm out of practice. I waited a month, and this is the finished product. It's been sitting for a few days. There's still a little, it's not perfect. However, compared to what it did look like, it's spectacular. So that is the box. I'm certainly proud to own it, and maybe somebody else will be just as proud to own it after me. Thanks again for watching. Please like and subscribe, and when I get a new camera, trust me, it'll get better. No GoPro.